Well, Samridhi, this is my first time really interviewing someone face to face through Zoom in this kind of context. So thank you very much for being with me today. I'm curious to explore a little bit about you.
I've been
Yes,
looking forward to this. So thank you for having me
of
and your
course.
beautiful questions and space.
Yes, I do just have like a general question for you today.
Okay.
How has the theme of being a child been with you today?
I had my cup of coffee and I was really looking forward to meeting you. So happy and content.
Excellent. Actually, excellent. I really want this to be as genuine and clear as possible because I think people can really pick up on the bullshit a lot.
Yeah.
And I think getting that clear point and not doing this for the purpose of views or to say a particular thing the right way. And the only way I know that to work is by us calling in what we need and then allowing what wants to come through to come through. And
That-
that's how you work, I'm pretty sure.
That's yeah. That's how we roll.
Yeah.
That's true.
In fact, that does do a good lead on to one of the questions I had for you. Samridhi, we dived into it a second ago. I was really curious to hear more about the way you've come from going from really nothing in terms of your spiritual understanding all the way to the point where you're up to now, where you actually know how to prepare a session, you know how you set yourself up, and you know how to really access the Akashic records in a way that I feel is quite unique. So do you want to talk a little bit about where you've come from and summarize to how you've gotten to now and what you actually do to really access the Akashic records for yourself?
Wow. That's a very good question and very stimulating for me. It takes me in so many places. I think that my earliest memories of connecting to a practice was being brought up in a semi-religious family where always had a small Hindu temple inside the house, and we would go in the morning after a shower to light a candle, like an oil lamp, and one in the evening. And someone has to always do it. So that someone used to be me most of the time. So I found my way into my guidance system through rituals and practice, so and through devotion. So I started connecting with the divine feminine and also the divine masculine. But the divine masculine, the way I connected was through baby Krishna. We had like a small statue of Krishna. It was a brass statue. So I would connect with him like a baby divine masculine. And it was just a very sweet connection and expression for me, an archetype connection for me um, to bring up all the love and the the oneness that I needed to feel a kind of semblance in my field and to be that person as I was growing. So it really started off from there and connecting with the goddess, which was Durga, and I used to pray to these two regularly. And then as I grew up, I think for some reason, my desire to overcome a heartbreak were always like my pivotal points of, really going deep inside because nothing else affected me so deeply as much as recovering from a heartbreak. So, all other situations I knew, like if I need a job, I can work hard, I can create a very good resume, I can apply, and then I can get it. This was the only thing that I could not do by just working hard. And in fact, it was having the opposite effect, especially in, the dynamics and relationships I was in. So I would really go deep inside to really ask questions. And that's really where it started. So in the beginning, it was angry questions. So I would just go inside and be like, give me an answer. I really just want to know why this has happened. And I really wanted to make sense of my situations. That's where I started getting dribs and drabs of information coming in. And from there, I think slowly I started feeling like that was only just the excuse for me to start accessing the information. So if I ask the right kind of questions in a different frequency, I could get much more fulfillment from that experience. So I started asking more questions that were just very aligned with excitement and curiosity. So being a very curious creature, I just, would go in and randomly ask anything then. And when I say go in and ask, what I mean is like I would close my eyes and I would ask whoever comes to help me. And I always see a certain guide, and I see him as a masculine guide for me. It really helped me to navigate through my situations of not having a very present father in my life. So it was a very natural way for me to connect and feel supported and assured. So there might be a psychological reason why I had a masculine guide or have a masculine guide. Um, and there was a deep connection, and there is a deep connection with this guide. So he would just step in and I would just ask him all the questions. So he would just show me, and I would start seeing something like a dream. And slowly I started differentiating between what I was seeing as a dream and what was a vision that I could not change. And it was coming to me, and I was not making it, at least in the physical sense of my reality right now. And gradually I started unraveling more information about first myself and my other lives and my other aspects, and who I am as a soul essence, which I probably will never fully understand, but I am learning every day. So as I started getting information through all of that, I also started getting information about the origin of the earth, the origin of some celestial bodies, about the moon, about the sun, about our galaxy. And I was really curious. I was very moved by the UFO culture, and I loved everything that Eduardo Billimayer spoke about when he had that contact with Sanjay Say, and the Pleiadian being who came on a spacecraft. It was something very important for me to research and feel really connected. I just felt very connected with that. So I started following that stream. Bashar came in. So all of this started happening around 2010 to 2013. And within that, I started reading a lot of books, Dolores Cannon, all her books, Dr. Brian Weiss. I think I read about at least 250 books in that year, or at least between that year and the next year. And the library where I was, they started asking me to list the books and they would order for me. So it was just made so easily available to me. I never had to buy any of these books. So it started as a sacred curiosity, and I matched it with my outside reading and interactions. And then slowly it just became a thing about, okay, I have this really rich inner world, and I have to filter out and express myself only in a certain way so that I'm matching what they are expecting. So it was very weird. That phase was very weird for me because I was holding myself back. I was not fully showing up, and I didn't feel safe to fully show up. And that was a time when I started having amazing people enter my life. So my mentor, teacher, guide, friend, Victoria and David Webby stepped into my life that time. My bestie, Jess Beard, stepped into my life that time. And this is around 2021, 2022, 2021, I think. Yeah. And then as they started stepping in, and then I started seeing that they don't have that filter or barrier. They don't try to, appear to be logical and, very much in this physical reality only. They're able to bring other aspects of themselves or whoever they are in a very clear, unembarrassed, unabashed, easy way. I don't even think unembarrassed is a word, but I just made it up. And then within that, I started feeling like maybe I could do that too. So it only started with, even slightly engaging in those conversations, but I would still try. I would bring up a topic and see how far that would go. And then if people would think that's too much, then I would just pull back. And then I think I just made a giant leap. I just challenged myself to create an Instagram account in 2022 called CosmicSoulWhisperer. And I didn't really think about that name too much. It was just a name that my friend randomly channeled for me and said, hey, that's you. I'm like, oh, okay. Can I use it for my business if I ever make one? And she said, yeah. I'm like, okay, for now I'll use it for my Instagram account. So I just showed up and I really didn't know what I was supposed to do. So I just show up. I switched on the live on Instagram and I just said, hello, everybody, welcome. And I just don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then I started speaking about the things and the themes that I was playing with. And light language started coming through. Stories and anecdotes that have really moved and inspired me started coming through. And the rule that I had was I will never prepare. So what I started doing is randomly at the end of that first live, I said, I'm going to meet you every Sunday at 6 p.m. Sydney time. I don't know where I came up, like where that came from, but I just then left it and kept it for almost a year. So every Sunday at 6 p.m., rain or shine, I would just show up and I would do the same thing.
Hmm.
So that was really how I started bridging my two worlds and started showing up for myself in all ways. So, yeah.
Wow. I'm sure all of that would speak to so many people, especially beginning their journey into their own awakening or stepping into even some of their passions and things that they want to do. So from that, I got a really big range of follow-up questions from that.